Welcome to my road to completion guide for Elden Ring. If you haven't watched episode 0, make sure to do that now because it contains very important information about this guide. The link to episode 0 is in my pinned comment. Before we begin, go into your settings and select storage. Choose saved data, then saved data in game app settings. Now choose Sync Saved Data and disable Auto Sync Saved Data. When you're finished, boot up the game. Navigate through all the agreements and adjust your options. Just make sure to change the launch setting to offline. Select New Game from the main menu and confirm your options. Select the Prisoner as our starting class, then choose a body type. The body type is entirely up to you and will not affect any trophies. After that, give your character a name and select the golden seed as our keepsake. One of my patrons, who goes by the name Dr. Hennessy, won a contest and decided to call our character Mr. Bigglesworth. Check the top left corner and you'll see a red, blue, and green bar. The red bar is our health, the blue bar is our FP, which I'll often refer to as MP or magic, and the green bar is our stamina. You can tap the circle button to roll, which usually drains stamina, but since we're not in combat, our green bar stays at 100%. Our compass is located in the top middle of the screen. In most cases, we'll be following paths or using landmarks for navigation, but in some cases we'll need to use the compass. Anytime you see me tilt the camera straight down or up in the air, you'll know that we're about to use the compass for navigation. Notice the menu in the bottom left corner. It's the same shape as the D-pad on your controller. Tap left to switch between weapons and shields in your left hand. Tap right to do the same. Tap up to switch between spells, and tap down to switch items. Press the Options or Menu button to pull up the equipment menu. Press square to remove the S-Stock, Glintstone Staff, and Rift Shield. Now press the X button and equip the Glintstone Staff in your right hand. And the Rift Shield in your left hand. You can see how many runes we have in the bottom right corner. Currently we have 0. If you die in Elden Ring, you will lose all of your runes, but you can actually recover them by going back to the very spot that you died. If we go to spend our runes and you don't have enough, don't worry about it. You can always go to the farming spots I'll show in the guide to farm more runes. Even though we selected to play offline, you may still see white signs on the ground. If so, quit the game and select continue from the main menu. This action should kick you offline. Tap L1 to parry and hold L1 to block. Blocking will be our primary mode of defense, but you can obviously parry or roll if you're comfortable with combat. Tap R1 to cast spells. Notice how the blue bar depletes each time we cast a spell. If our MP drops too low, our character will shake the staff to alert us. I'll explain how to refill the blue bar later in the episode. Grab the item off the corpse so we can exit the chapel. Hold down the circle button to sprint. Once again, notice that our green stamina bar remains at 100% since we're not in combat. Wait for the boss's red health bar to appear at the bottom of the screen, then run off the cliff to skip the fight. Two flasks will be given to us after death. The red flask of Crimson Tears restores our health, and the blue flask of Cerulean Tears restores our magic. Our blue bar is back to 100% because we died, so let's practice casting spells and restoring magic with the blue flask. Remember, you can cycle through your items by pressing down on the D-pad. Press the square button when you're ready to use the item. The small white number in the bottom D-pad slot represents how many times we can use each item. You are free to complete the tutorial area called the Cave of Knowledge, but since it's not necessary to pop any trophies, I will skip it for the sake of the guide. I've already explained most of what you're going to experience in the tutorial anyway, and anything I've missed I'll cover later in the guide. Follow me and activate the Side of Grace in the Stranded Graveyard. Touching a Side of Grace activates a fast travel point as well as a checkpoint just in case we die. Resting at a Side of Grace resets the world state, giving us an opportunity to farm nearby enemies for extra runes, restore our flask to full, plus we can level up stats. Resting also provides us with other options that'll make more sense as we progress through the guide. Go outside and activate the first step. Since we have all of our flask, there's no need to rest. You'll need to monitor this aspect of the game to ensure you always have an adequate supply of flask. Sometimes I will activate a Side of Grace, but I will not rest, and that's only because I'm very comfortable with the game and I feel like I have an adequate supply of flask. But that doesn't mean you should do the same. If you're the type of player that feels more comfortable carrying more flask, then rest at every Side of Grace. We will use the map to fast travel, but not for navigation. Pulling up the map and setting waypoints is a waste of time since we have the compass. You will never get lost as long as you follow my directions. Activate the Side of Grace at the Church of Elleh. Notice here that I'm tilting my camera. We talked about this earlier. This means we're going to be using the compass to get to our next location. We need to find and rest at the Gatefront's Side of Grace. Always make sure to travel in straight lines. This will ensure that you never get lost and will save you a ton of time. Talk to the NPC, accept the Spectral Steed whistle, then leave.
Have you heard of the thing they serve, the two fingers? But you, I am afraid, I can play the role of maiden, turning runes into strength to aid you in your search for the Elleh. You need only take me with you to the foot of the Erd tree. Then it's settled. Summon me by grace. Ah, another matter. I bequeath to you this ring. Use it to traverse. It will summon a spectral steed. Torrent has chosen you. Treat him with respect.
Immediately fast travel back to the Church of Elleh to trigger an event with an NPC. Speak with the NPC and tell her that we can call the Spectral Steed. This action rewards us with the Spirit Calling Bell and Lone Wolf Ashes. Make sure to exhaust her dialogue and she'll leave the area.
Upon looking into the matter, the talk I surmise, thou art possessed of the power to call forth the Spectral Steed name. As I had hoped, I was entrusted this for thee by Torrent's former master. 'Tis a bell for calling forth, summon them with it. The spirits will obey thine command. Now it is thine. Forgive mine intrusion, Tarnished. I doubt we shall again meet. How long will it be, before the Tarnished tire of obeisance to the...
Now let's fast travel back to the Gatefront side of Grace. Press square to remove the memory of Grace and all the gestures. Equip the Lone Wolf Ashes in the top D-pad slot and the Spectral Steed Whistle in the bottom D-pad slot. Hold the triangle button to pull up an additional menu in the lower left corner. While that menu is active, tap down on the D-pad to summon Torrent. We can dismiss Torrent using the same button combination, or we can tap our thumbstick. Skip the enemies and grab the golden seed at the end of the path. Look up ahead and you'll see a small shack. Grab the Stone Sword key and activate the Side of Grace. Stone Sword keys open special locks that lead to secret areas, and we'll need to collect quite a few of these to complete the run. Follow me to the next Side of Grace. There'll be a dirt path up ahead with 2 enemies, but we can skip them. The Side of Grace will be on the right. Golden seeds are used to charge Flask, and we have enough to charge our Flask twice. So let's do that and then allocate 1 charge to our red Flask and 5 charges to our blue Flask. Kill the NPC in the shack to pick up his armor and the Scepter. The Scepter gives us credit toward a trophy. Remove the armor we have and equip the beast helm and chest piece. Level up intelligence to 16. Ride through the nearby camp, follow the path over the bridge, and rest at the next site of grace.
Can you hear me? Help me. I'm stuck.
Kill the boss to get the death root. This will come in handy later in the guide. This boss will move from time to time, so be prepared to track him down in the area. Level up intelligence to 18. Check the coffins and collect all the golden runes. Fast travel to Summonwater village outskirts. This time jump off the cliff but go to the right to collect more golden runes. We do not need the item by the corpse. Kill the NPC and he'll drop a golden seed. If the seed falls off the platform, just quit the game and continue. This will force the seed back up on top of the platform. This means you won't have to deal with any of the enemies down below.
Servant to the true order and celebrated repudiator of the false. Oh, country, grant me succor. Hello? Is anybody there? Someone who might be tarnished. I am right, and I have seen quite enough.
Follow the path to the Third Church of America and grab the Sacred Tear. Sacred Tears control how much HP and magic are replenished each time we use a flask. Now pick up the Crimson Crystal tier and the Flask of Wonders Physick. I'll explain more about these items later in the guide as well. Rest at the site of grace and use our sacred tier to replenish our flask. Follow the path all the way to the next site of grace at Fort Hyatt West. Grab the golden seed in front of the fort. The safest play is to sneak around the edge of the cliff to avoid the enemies. Kill the enemies inside the fort. The knight will drop an ash of war called Bloody Slash, which will come in handy later. Remember, we can summon the lone wolves by holding triangle and pressing up on the D-pad. Summons can deal damage to the enemies, but they also serve as a distraction, which gives us the advantage. Climb the tower and grab the Dectus medallion from the chest. We need to find both pieces to use a lift later in the guide. Fast travel back to the Third Church of Marika. Follow the same path as before, but this time look for the bears. When you see the bears, take a left on the dirt path and then use the lift to get down to the riverbank. Charge, replenish, and allocate 7 red flask and 0 blue flask. My name is Exonovit, and I'll see you in the next one. Be good.